Welcome to the HEOR Insights YouTube channel.
This explainer covers the core principle of discounting, the mechanics of its calculation, the discount rates specified by global HTA bodies, a practical example of its impact, and key applications and takeaways for HEOR analysts.
We'll begin with the core principle of discounting.
Discounting is a fundamental concept in health economic evaluations. It is the mathematical process of adjusting future costs and health outcomes to reflect their value in today's terms. This adjustment accounts for time preference, and the resulting figure is known as the present value.
The concept is based on the economic principle of positive time preference. This principle states that benefits received sooner are preferred over the same benefits received later. Therefore, a rational actor will choose to receive a payment today rather than the same payment in the future.
This preference is driven by four key economic factors. First, inflation erodes the purchasing power of money over time. Second, there is a preference for immediate consumption. Third, the future always carries risk and uncertainty. And finally, money available today has an opportunity cost, as it could be invested to generate returns.
While the rationale for discounting costs is clear, it is also necessary to discount health outcomes. This is done to prevent a logical inconsistency known as the paralysis of delay paradox. If only costs were discounted, any intervention would appear more cost-effective the longer its implementation was delayed. Discounting both ensures consistent decision-making.
Therefore, to maintain consistency in economic models, both costs and health outcomes, like QALYs, are discounted. We will now review the mechanics of this calculation.
The adjustment to present value uses a standard formula. The present value, or PV, is calculated by taking the future value, or FV, and dividing it by 1 plus the discount rate, R, raised to the power of the time period in years, T. The components of this formula are as follows. PV is the present value. FV represents the future value. R is the discount rate, expressed as a decimal, so 3% becomes 0.03. And T is the time period in years from the present. The effect of this formula becomes more pronounced over longer time horizons. This table, using a 3% discount rate, shows how the present value of $1, or 1 unit of health benefit, diminishes over time. As shown, a benefit occurring 20 years from now is valued at just over half of its nominal value today. The choice of the discount rate is therefore a critical parameter. This leads to the subject of discount rates as specified by Global Health Technology Assessment, or HTA bodies. HTA bodies provide specific guidelines on the discount rates that must be used in economic evaluations. They generally follow one of two approaches. Uniform discounting, the most common method, applies the same rate to both costs and effects. In contrast, differential discounting uses different rates, typically a lower rate for health outcomes. These rates vary significantly by country, reflecting different national economic conditions and policies. For instance, ISPOR in the US and NICE in the UK recommend uniform rates. The Netherlands, however, mandates differential discounting. And notably, Canada recently lowered its uniform rate from 5% to 1.5%, a change with major implications for valuing long-term therapies.
Adherence to these local guidelines is mandatory for all HTA submissions. To demonstrate the impact of discounting, we will now analyze a practical example based on a hypothetical gene therapy.
Consider a new gene therapy that costs $100,000 upfront in year 0. It provides a benefit of 1 life year gained per year for 10 years, from year 1 through year 10. We will apply a discount rate of 3%.
First, the undiscounted cost per life year is calculated. The total cost of $100,000 is divided by the total benefit of 10 life years, which establishes a baseline of $10,000 per life year.
Next, the future health benefits are discounted to their present value. Each of the 10 life years gained is adjusted using the discount formula. When these are summed, their total present value is not 10, but 8.53 life years.
In the final step, the cost-effectiveness ratio is recalculated. The upfront cost is not discounted as it occurs in year 0. This cost is then divided by the 8.53 discounted life years, resulting in a ratio of $11,723 per life year.
The key observation is that discounting increased the cost-effectiveness ratio, in this case by over 17%. This is a characteristic outcome for interventions with high upfront costs and long-term benefits. This leads to the final section on key applications and takeaways for analysts.
Understanding this dynamic is critical in specific therapeutic areas.
For preventative medicines, like vaccines, costs are immediate, while benefits may occur decades later, making their present value highly sensitive to the discount rate. The same is true for curative treatments, like gene therapies, where a large upfront cost is weighed against a lifetime of benefits eroded by discounting.
For professionals in the field, there are 4 essential practices. First, apply discounting in any analysis with a time horizon longer than 1 year. Second, verify and apply the specific rate mandated by the target HTA body. Third, understand that higher discount rates systematically disadvantage treatments with long-term benefits. And fourth, perform a sensitivity analysis to test how varying the discount rate affects the model's conclusions.
The application of traditional discounting faces new challenges as medical technology evolves. This poses a critical question for the field of health economics. As innovative treatments increasingly provide lifetime benefits, must HTA guidelines evolve their approach to discounting to accurately capture the full value of these interventions?